Today we are finally taking a look at Star Wars. So I went way back to when I was a kid, 2006. This is a V-Wing. This awesome little ship was so much fun when I was a kid. It's very swooshable. You can take it and swoosh. That's what swooshable means if you are not familiar with the term. And it was just hours of fun. I can't count the amount of times I think I took this one apart. Even 18 years later, I can probably still get most of this together without instructions. That is how well I knew this one. And I had the TIE Interceptor, which I am trying to get my hands on. And since I'm a nerd, we're gonna dive into the nitty-gritty of the V-Wing. All right, so this is set 6205, and this came with 118 pieces. I did some slight modifications already just because why not? Since this is one I played with as a kid so much, I wanted to add some stud shooters, so I had some extra ones laying around, and I went ahead and modified the sides where the guns are to actually have stud shooters. So pretty cool. And this set came with one minifig. It was one of the pilot minifigs, so it is really cool. It did come with a, I believe, now hear me out, the geeks and the nerds and everybody else, because I am one too. This is a Q series, not an R series droid. It's from the video I watched. I'm a big nerd. I love Star Wars. Don't hate me. And actually, according to that video, I will link it. It is a really good video on the V-Wing. It goes super deep into the history of the V-Wing. But what's cool is he mentions that it is actually, it's more of a predecessor to the TIE Fighter. And I think it's really interesting. And it goes on into the history of when they started to make them, how much they were, and what happened to them after the Clone Wars. So it's really interesting. And I highly recommend going to watch it. So without even the stud shooters, this set came with a bunch of cool play features. And I don't know if they're really play features, but just pieces on the ship that actually move. So these wings can come out, stick a little bit to the side, they kind of fold back in. And how they land in the movie is not like this or in the video games, but it's really interesting that you can just put them in, they fold in. Something fun. Again, as kids, you can put them how you want them and fly them around. Also, this has one of the old school cockpits, so this piece just comes off. You have to lift up this middle part, and the cockpit shield comes right off. Your pilot just sits right in there. So this is a really nice, again, it's not anything special, but to me, it has a lot of nostalgia, because this was an awesome set when I was a kid. And it wasn't much. I think it was like a $20 set when it came out. These pieces in the middle can fold back down, and then you are ready to fly. And on the backside, you can see the cool engines that would be flying the ship around. So the structure of the ship is pretty good. I remember as a kid, hear me out, I had dropped this a couple times, and it definitely did survive. And with any Lego set, there's an amount of force that you can drop them at, and they will always break apart. But this thing always seemed pretty durable. Now, there have been 3 other iterations of the V-Wing. There was an updated version that looks similar to this. It's a little bit bigger, and then there's a dark version of it. So really neat. I might end up getting those too, just to have all 3 of them. That'd be really fun to have. But I'm happy with this. Being my first Star Wars ship, getting, back into Lego, I just had to find it. And I actually was able to pick it up for $25. A guy down the street from me had it, so pretty nice. He kept it in pretty good condition. So if you want to pick one of these up new, they run you about $130 on Amazon, but I recommend either eBay or just Facebook Marketplace around your area, and I'm sure someone has one of these laying around in probably pretty good condition. And on the top here, you can see a little Imperial sign, so that's really neat that they added that little detail in there. Something I thought was really interesting in that video that I had watched was the sound these make in some of the short films and videos. They sound exactly like TIE Fighters, so being a predecessor to the TIE Fighter, you can hear it there. Real quick, let's just take a look at the minifig. So this is the clone pilot, and he comes with a black Lego head. And this is really common for a lot of the clone figures, having just a plain black head, and then the helmet has the cutout for it, so it makes it look like it is part of the helmet, which is really nice. It gives a little bit more of like a 3D feel. There isn't too much to this minifig. He's got, back printing, he's got the front printing, no leg printing. He does have blue legs and blue arms with white hands, so nothing too special, but I think he fits the set really nicely. And that's pretty much it for this review. So not too long of an episode this week, but wanted to get back into this, especially with a set that it's near and dear to my heart. And getting it was just so much fun. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week on hopefully another Star Wars video. See you then.